Hi, so you'll see that the big project in this class is the business plan project, and you will complete this project in 5 steps. So we have 5 units in the chapter. You will complete a part of the business plan project with each unit. So if you want to get all of your information, we need to go to content. And then here we can see our first unit. Weeks 1 and 2, we're completing Unit 1, chapters 1 through 4, and you're going to do part 1 of the business plan project. Right? So we can see at the end of week 2, you're going to need to complete that business plan project. Okay. If you go to any of these tabs, I have that as the assignment because you should be working on this assignment throughout the 2 weeks. This isn't something you can sit and knock out in a half hour or an hour. It's going to take you probably a couple of hours to do each one of these assignments. So when you're on assignments, okay, we can see we've got our terms assignment, chapter 1 and 2 terms assignment, our discussion in week 1, and it spans week 1 and 2. But then here it says work on the business plan project due on October 26th. Find the instructions here and submit the assignment here. Well, first let's look at the instructions. Here we go. So very important at the top, it tells you that your responses have to be written in your own words based on your own thoughts and understanding of the textbook chapters. You do need your textbook to do this assignment. So if you have not bought your textbook, get it because you will get a very low score on your business plan project if you do not tie it into the textbook. Okay. If you use AI to generate ideas, that would be a reasonable thing to do. I think anyone who is writing a business plan is going to probably get a framework from AI. So it's fine to do an AI search, get your ideas, but you need to take those ideas and make them your own. So you'll get AI's thoughts on whatever the topic is that you're addressing in your business plan, but then take from AI. Don't just take it directly. Right? Because AI is going to spit out a lot of things that you would not think, you would not say, right? So take the idea, write it about it after you have thought about it is what I'm saying. So if you've done an AI search, go ahead, put it at the end of your assignment. But when you're writing about the topics in your business plan, even though you got the idea from AI, write about it in your own words based on your understanding and how you will implement it for your business. Okay? If it appears to me that it is AI generated or just for whatever reason not consistent with a Business 101 student, because I'm working with you online, I don't have a feel for how you speak and write, I will ask you to attend a meeting and you can explain your work. And if you can explain it and it, that's fine. So if I ask you to attend a conference from me, with me to talk about your business plan, it's nothing bad. I just want to talk about it with you. So if you didn't generate it from AI, just come on into the meeting and tell me your thoughts and how you wrote it. Okay, but don't use AI is what I'm trying to say, and just submit the AI work. Don't copy and paste from AI, I guess is what I'm trying to say. To make sure that you're taking what you've gotten, from doing AI generation or from internet searches, it's perfectly, a reasonable thing to do, but you need to make it your own and apply it to your own business. Okay. And so you will need to cite from the textbook and explain the theory in the textbook for many of the requirements. And you won't be able to get points if you don't do this. Okay, so that's why the textbook is required. And here I've provided the APA citation. So you're going to give our textbook authors, the year of the textbook, and the page number for the quotes you pull from our textbook. So let's look at the requirements. So right off the bat, okay, you're going to tell the business name. Okay, so this business plan project is about any type of business that you have an interest in. Maybe you want to be a business owner someday and you have a business in mind. Maybe you have no interest in ever owning a business. Just think of something that you're interested in, okay, and have that be your business. Okay. So the very first thing is come up with a catchy name for your business, right? Make sure that it captures the spirit of the business you're creating. And then describe the business, but a very direct to the point description, 30 words or fewer. Okay. So these first two, once you come up with your idea, these first two requirements are going to be pretty simple. The next one is to talk about what form of business ownership you would use to organize your business. Why do you think this is the best ownership? And you need to cite two advantages and two disadvantages from the textbook. So provide quotes from the textbook for each advantage and disadvantage, and then follow it with an explanation of the quote in your own words. So here's an example. So there's sole proprietors, partnerships, LLCs, corporations. So you've got several to choose from. Let's say you chose sole proprietorship. Well, you need a quote from the textbook. What the textbook says are advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorships. So quote the textbook, put it in quotes, and put the citation with the page number next to it, and then explain what that means for you and your business. Okay, so don't just say this is what the textbook says. Explain what you understand it to mean in addition to the quote. Okay, so we can see if you have the e-textbook that you're working off of, the advantages are on page 87, the disadvantages are on page 88. You need to indicate that in your answer. Okay, so number 4 is the ideal customer. Oh, and I should say that form of business ownership, that was from chapter 3. The ideal customer. So think about, who do you think would want to buy your product or service? Okay, so just kind of give a description of those demographics of your ideal customer. We're going to talk about marketing in a later part of the project, so you don't have to go into a lot of detail, but just give a little bit of thought and write up what your thoughts are on who you think you would be targeting with your business. And then questions 5 and 6 have to do with chapter 2. So chapter 2 talks about ethics and social responsibility. So these are ones that you're going to definitely have to tie into the chapter. You're going to think about 3 ethical issues arising from either behavior towards employees, behaviors toward the organization, behavior towards other economic agents. So 3 in total, and they could be, all 3 could be employee related, all 3 could be organization related, they could be customer related, right? So 3 in total, okay? I'm not expecting 3 from each one, or it doesn't even have to be 1 from each one, but just 3 in total. And then 3 quotes from the textbook going along with these. And then describe 3 core principles that your business will follow and explain and incorporate into your code of ethics. Okay, that's also explained in chapter 2. Explain why you chose each principle. Okay, and then 6, social responsibility. So that's a topic in chapter 2. And so the business shows social responsibility by respecting its stakeholders. What steps will your business take to be social responsibility to customers, to employees, to the local community? Okay, so you need to answer each one of these, and for each one of them, provide a quote from the textbook, followed by your explanation. Okay, so we're going to need textbook quotes for number 3. That comes from chapter 3. Number 5 and 6, those come from chapter 2. Okay, and so you can then take a look at the rubric for how this is going to be graded, so you can make sure that you are saying enough to get the highest rating. Okay, so here's where we got the instructions that I just went over with you. Here is where you click to submit the assignment. Okay. So you'll just click here to upload your file when you're ready to submit it. But to see the rubric, if we click on the Business Plan Project Part 1, here you're going to see the rubric. So we can click on this rubric and you can see how the grade is going to be determined. So the business name provided with a creative reason to get the highest points. Description of the business, clear picture of what the business will be and how it will be unique. So if you're not sure how much detail to give more. Give more than less. So don't come back to me later and say, oh, this is what I meant. Okay, I need to see it in the submission, what you actually mean. So be very clear in your description. The form of business ownership. So you can see the grade is based on how detailed the response is. So give a detailed response about all aspects of the requirement, and then make sure you include that textbook quote, right? That textbook quote is required to get points. So you can come through and you can look at this rubric and you can kind of see what you need to do to get that highest rating in every category. And for most of them, it is how detailed it is. So make sure you fully explain each part of the requirement. One sentence is not a detailed response. So you probably need a couple sentences to explain your thoughts. Okay. So that's how you get started. I've shown you how to submit it. Please do a good job on this because we know this is 30% of the grade. If you have questions, reach out to me right away. If you're thinking about something and you're not sure, just shoot me an email. I try and answer through email, or we can set up a Google Meet.